What is up, everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Tomorrow. My name is Caleb, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about quarterbacks. And we're going to go through some different tiers and rankings for quarterbacks heading into the 2021 fantasy season. And I'll also be giving you my favorite value in each tier and my least favorite value in each tier. And keep in mind, as we're going through these, this is for a half PPR league. So if you're in a 2-quarterback league, or maybe your league does some funky quarterback scoring, you might need to adjust a little bit here and there based on the player. But overall, these should be some pretty solid rankings for you. So let's get into it. First, in Tier 1, we have our no-doubters. In this tier, we have Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, and Dak Prescott. Now, my favorite value in this tier is Dak Prescott. And that's because he was really just going off before he got injured last year. In fact, he was leading the league in passing yards before his injury. And by all accounts, his injury doesn't seem like it's that big of an issue. He's recovered very nicely, according to reports. So he should continue to produce at a very high level due to the high level of talent in that offense around him. And all of the question marks on defense, that team should be throwing a lot, trying to keep up in games against their opponents. So really, we should see tons of fantasy points from Dak Prescott. Now, my least favorite value is Josh Allen. Now, I love Josh Allen. He's a super fun player, and he exploded onto the scene last year, took a huge leap forward. But that leaves him as a prime candidate for some regression. And if you combine that with the high costs that it's going to cost you in order to acquire him in drafts, whether that's an auction draft or a snake draft or whatever, I'm okay with passing on Allen for somebody else this year. Now, let's go on into Tier 2, and that's our high upside quarterbacks. In this category, we have Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, and Aaron Rodgers. Now, my favorite value in this tier is Lamar Jackson. Now, Jackson regressed a little bit last season after his 2019 MVP performance, but he should be able to rebound this season. He's surrounded by the best group of pass catchers he's ever had in his young career, and he still offers extraordinary value on the ground. He's still an explosive runner, and that really provides a super high floor for Lamar Jackson. But my least favorite value in this tier, unfortunately, is Aaron Rodgers, who's one of my favorite players in the NFL, and he's coming off potentially his best season ever, an MVP season. But the problem is that Rodgers' status going into the season is murky at best. No one really knows for sure whether he'll end up being back with the Packers as their quarterback or whether he'll end up retiring and being the host of Jeopardy! And while I think that he is going to ultimately return to the Packers, I just really don't see the need to risk it when so many other great fantasy quarterbacks are available. Now, let's get into tier number 3, which is our low-end quarterback ones. Now, in this tier, we have Tom Brady, Ryan Tannehill, Matthew Stafford, and Jalen Hurts. Now, my favorite value here in this tier is Matthew Stafford. And that's because Stafford's in a new system. He's left Detroit, he's over in Los Angeles with the Rams, and he should thrive under Sean McVay in this new offense. In fact, Stafford is going to have the best weapons and coaching he's ever seen, and could end up with not only big numbers, but also very consistent numbers, which is what we want from our fantasy quarterbacks. Now, my least favorite value in this tier is Jalen Hurts. Now, even though he has really great upside and he really shined in some of those performances that he had last year, it's really hard to have too much confidence in what this new Eagles offense is going to look like. Now, many people have Hurts inside of their top 10 quarterbacks due to his explosiveness or maybe his running ability, but I'm a little bit more leery as Hurts has just a higher than normal chance of busting this season. Now, in Tier 4, I have our high-end streamers. And in this tier, I have Baker Mayfield, Matt Ryan, Kirk Cousins, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Trevor Lawrence, and Joe Burrow. Now, my favorite value in this tier is actually Ryan Fitzpatrick. Now, Fitzpatrick is just a great fantasy quarterback who can really put up huge numbers when given the chance, which is what you want from a streamer quarterback. You want somebody that's going to offer you very high upside, which Fitzpatrick absolutely can do. And he's surrounded by really great weapons. You have Terry McLaurin, Antonio Gibson, Curtis Samuel, great weapons in that Washington offense. And I really think this Washington offense is very underrated going into the season. It should be really fun to watch. Now, my least favorite value in this tier is actually Trevor Lawrence. And that's because Lawrence's value is just so high right now due to his status, due to how he performed at the college level. But it really could be very risky to put too much capital in him without knowing how both he and how new head coach Urban Meyer are going to adjust to the NFL level. So I'm okay with fading Trevor Lawrence. All right, so here on the screen are my top 30 quarterbacks ranked for the 2021 season. And at this point, I personally just really like both Lamar Jackson and Dak Prescott. They're definitely a couple of quarterbacks that I would be targeting in drafts. And I will, of course, be fading Aaron Rodgers and Trevor Lawrence until we just know more about Rodgers' situation with the Packers and how Lawrence is going to adjust to the NFL. But guys, if you want more league-winning fantasy advice, please subscribe to our channel, drop us a like and a comment, and if you comment and ask a question, we'll try to get back to you as soon as we possibly can so that we can help you out and give you some good league-winning info. And follow us on Twitter where you can also tweet at us and we'll answer any questions that you have. We'll also be giving some great info and news throughout the season, and you can stay updated with us over there on Twitter. But guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.